Okay, so we're diving into a story today that honestly sounds, well, impossible. It's all about an NBA star's wild comeback, and the reason behind it is not what you'd expect. So let's just get right to the heart of it, right? The big question. How does a top-tier NBA All-Star, one of the best in the league, go from playing just 3 games in an entire season? I mean, that's basically nothing. To then turn around and play 81 games. The very next year, that's almost a perfect season. It's the kind of comeback that just doesn't seem real. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly how this happened, based on the sources for this story. All right, first up, let's really set the stage for this thing. We're talking about a comeback that, by all accounts, should never have happened. But, before you can get to the comeback, you got to understand just how bad things got. So let's look at the injury that was supposed to end his career for good. Okay, so picture this. It's 2001. Theo Ratliff is playing for Philly, and he is absolutely crushing it. He makes the NBA All-Star team. He's at the very top of his game, the peak of his career. And then it all just unravels. Boom, he fractures his wrist. Then he tears the labrum in his hip. To make things even worse, doctors find these pre-existing degenerative conditions. The verdict they give him? It's brutal. They basically say, your career is over. You're going to be a lifetime project for surgeons. Can you imagine hearing that? I mean, listen to how Ratliff himself described it. He said, I was almost in the midst of retiring. Everything was just going all haywire. He'd hit rock bottom. The experts, the doctors, everyone was telling him it was over. No coming back. But here's where the story takes a turn. According to our sources, someone came to him with a totally different idea about what was going on. And that brings us to this idea of a mineral deficiency theory. So what is that? Well, the main idea from the sources is summed up pretty well by this quote from Ambassador Andrew Young. The theory is basically this. The food we eat today, because it's grown in soil that's been overfarmed, just doesn't have the same minerals and vitamins it used to. We're taking more out of our bodies than we're putting back in. And this is the perfect way to understand why, according to this theory, athletes are like the canary in the coal mine. Just look at the difference. You've got an athlete who's constantly exercising, sweating, just burning through vital minerals like crazy. On the other hand, you have someone who's mostly sitting on the couch, losing minerals way, way slower. So for the athlete, if you're not putting those minerals back in, your body's going to start breaking down. It's like trying to run a race car on an empty tank. Okay, so if the problem is a mineral shortage, what's the fix? Well, the sources present a specific product as the answer. Let's check it out. The Rebound Fx solution. So this solution they talk about is a drink called Rebound Fx. And what's interesting is how the source material positions it against the big guys like Gatorade and Red Bull. You can see right here in the comparison. Way less sugar, way less sodium, but a ton more potassium, plus a whole bunch of vitamins that the others just don't have. So what exactly is in this stuff? Well, according to the info, the big deal is 75 different minerals that come from plants. On top of that, you've got a vitamin complex, B vitamins for energy, amino acids for your muscles, even things like green tea and ginseng. The whole idea is to put back everything your body burns through when you're pushing it hard. All right, so that's the theory and that's the product. But here's the billion-dollar question. Did it actually work? Let's get back to Theo Ratliff's story and see. This is the proof in the performance. I mean, just look at this timeline. It's kind of mind-blowing. 2001, he's an NBA All-Star. The next season, it's a disaster. He plays only 3 games, career's supposed to be over. Then, in 2002, he starts this mineral program. And what happens the very next year? He plays 81 games. 81. And not only that, he wins the league's shot-blocking title. And get this, after that comeback, he went on to sign over $100 million in new contracts. Just, wow. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here it is from the man himself. Ratliff gives all the credit to the guy who created the program. He says, Dr. Wallach helped me expand my career 10 extra years. That's a pretty powerful endorsement, right? A direct line from this nutritional change to his recovery. And you know what? It wasn't just a one-season fluke. This wasn't some lucky break. After coming back, he didn't just show up to play. He dominated. He won the shot-blocking title 2 years running and even made the all-defensive second team. He was officially back to being an elite player in the league.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, according to the sources for this explainer, this story isn't really just about one basketball player. It's bigger than that. So let's zoom out a bit for our final section.
So let's be clear about what we're talking about when we say mineral deficiency. According to these sources, it's pretty simple. It's when your body just doesn't have the essential minerals it needs to work right. And they point to two main culprits that are speeding this up for everyone. One, intense exercise, and two, eating food that comes from soil that's basically been stripped of all the good stuff. And this is the key point the sources make. This isn't just an issue for pro athletes. They argue that this affects all of us. Whether you're a student trying to stay focused in class or a busy mom chasing kids around, we're all burning through these vital nutrients, and most of the time, we're not putting them back in. And they claim this is a root cause for a ton of health problems. So that really leaves us with a provocative final thought, doesn't it? The core claim from the sources in this story is that pretty much all of us are running on a low tank, that we're all mineral deficient in some way, which makes you wonder, what's missing from your fuel?